You mean just overall as a person or as a player?
Yeah, as a player. I mean, obviously last year there was a little bit of a quarterback battle, and now he's, now you can see what he's turned into.
Yeah, no, I think Drake stayed the same man as he came in as a young freshman. He came in early, and I think he's the same man as he was 2.5 years ago. He doesn't change. He's a great man, and I think the best aspect about him is that he's competitive. And whether that's playing ping pong in the players' lounge or playing pickleball, he is out there to win no matter what. And that's a good thing about the game, and that's what I think that's what's in him. The drive is to win, and I don't think he likes it any other way. So
when he came in early, his freshman year he played a little bit. I guess his true freshman year he played a little bit. Did you get a sign? Were there some signs there that, hey man, this guy can be really good, or were you as surprised as many others last year?
You know what? I don't know about surprised, because either way, if Jacoby Criswell won it, I wouldn't be surprised, or if Drake won it, I wouldn't be surprised either. They're both phenomenal quarterbacks. They both have great arms. They're both very smart when it comes to being on the field. So I wouldn't say I was surprised. I knew it was going to be a battle from when Drake came, because I knew obviously Drake came for the spot, so he was going to have to fight it out with Jacoby. But I think they're great quarterbacks, and I think being under Sam especially helped both of them phenomenally in their game, because they can learn from one of the best.
Without Josh and without Antoine Green, there seems to be some catches out there for the rest of you guys. How does that receiver core look going into the season, and are you hopeful that you get some of those balls?
Yes, very, very hopeful. Josh and Antoine are great aspects to our offense, but since they're gone, we picked up Tez Walker, Nate McCollum. I think those are two guys that are going to be really good on our offense, and I think also Kobe Paysauer, Gavin Blackwell. I think they're going to be fantastic as well. So we definitely lost people, but we gained some big pluses back on the team.
You went up against your defense during spring. What have you seen from them that leads you to believe that they're going to be significantly better than they were last year?
I think we have a new DBs coach. I think that'll be good. I think he's harder on them with technique-wise, so I think that's going to be great for us. Secondary-wise, having said back there at linebacker, he's an amazing leader, so he's going to keep the defense up and going, and no matter what. So glad to have said back there as well. And I think the D-line is adding in some wrinkles, some more stunts and stuff. So I'm excited for that, and just going out there and being physical is what they're good at. So
you just mentioned in the other room about how you weren't playing initially when you got here. Now here you are at ACC Kickoff. What has been maybe the most difficult part of the process, going from when you arrived to actually being a guy who's here representing your team?
I think how fast the game is. You come in from high school and you're used to being top dog at the school and everything, and then you come here and you're surrounded by all of them. So I think going through those few years of not even playing, touching the field, I think it made me who I am today. And just being patient and waiting on God's plan, I think was great. And His time is better than mine, but I think waiting made me. I don't think I would have been ready my freshman year, and 2 years later, I was playing my junior year. So I think the wait helped.
How hard is it to have patience?
To have patience?
Yeah, when you're in that situation, because so many guys want it now.
That's the hard part about it, But I think that's where faith comes in, and you just got to have faith about it, and it'll all work out.
You mentioned in the other room too something about blocking. Tight ends block you down. I know Coach Kitchen said when he came in, he saw some film. One of the things you guys collectively need to be able to do is block better in tight run situations, especially. Is that your strength, perhaps?
Yes, sir. I believe blocking would definitely be my forte, and I obviously love catching the ball and stuff too. But having Bryson and Kamari that are great blockers and receiving tight ends as well, I think it's great that you can have all three on the field at once, or even two of them on once. But Coach Kitchens has drilled into our brain we got to be physical no matter what. The rest will come with it, and he's also working on technique a lot too. So I think that's great that got to be physical, and then technique comes in. So. Yeah, what's up, buddy?
It's Noah.
Hey, Noah, how you doing, man? I'm sorry?
What's your
My name? I'm John.
what the hostel is in? What's the challenging environment to play in?
You said what's
the most challenging environment to play in?
Oh, that's a good question. I think my sophomore year, the 2021 season, we opened up in Virginia Tech. Man, they had that crowd pumping.
Everybody's told him that.
Yeah, so Virginia Tech was a good one. I think Notre Dame was also a good one too. They got their fourth quarter tradition. They flashed the lights and they played the like that Irish song. So that was really cool.
You guys get to go to Death Valley this year.
We do. Yep, Clemson will be a great game too, and we're preparing for that. So.
John, building off his question, Drake talked about battling Clemson in the conference title game last year and not caring what team it is. What can you say about the strength of the conference as a whole?
Yeah, no, I think you look at the teams. I think we all have great aspects that we bring to the league, and I wish we kind of still had like the region play and everything, but just the best of the best in the ACC will go. So we'll see how that works as it's coming into play this year. So I think it'll be exciting and interesting to see that.
Yeah, without the divisions, you guys are playing some teams that you don't necessarily see every year, like Syracuse, first time you're seeing them in 3 years. How, if anything, does that change the in-season and preseason prep?
I don't think it's really changed anything. It's just, it's another team that's on our schedule, and no matter who it is, we're going to prepare the same way and come into the game with a good mindset.
Coming off being in the ACC championship game, Florida State, Clemson getting a lot of losses. Is that frustrating that nobody's really talking about you guys in return?
Personally, it isn't. I'm not used to that, so it's nothing really new for me. And I think a lot of the guys on the team are that way. I think we keep our head down and keep a chip on our shoulder. I think we'll be pretty good this year.
Anything you learned from that experience last year that can take away, maybe trying to close that gap with teams like Clemson?
Yeah, for sure. So as y'all can look back, there's been a lot of close games where it could have been completely different turnaround. Where we could have lost some really close games, but that's what Coach Brown is just harping this whole offseason is we got to find a way to separate ourselves from being in those really close games to put them away in the fourth quarter. So I think we'll be pretty good with that, and not focusing on who we got next week. If, playing Clemson next week, like what are we going to do? And just focus on what task is at hand.
Max said that 2 years ago when you guys had all that hype when you went up to Virginia Tech and kind of never really got on traction that year, he said he kind of knew that maybe something was off because there wasn't great leadership. There wasn't a lot of vocal guys. Have you seen a lot more vocal guys, louder guys in the room, like Cedric, for example, or even Amari Gaynor, who's new, that maybe can kind of gather the guys in a different way than the group a couple years ago? And I'm not disparaging that group, but my understanding is it's elevated now. Is that what you've seen and heard?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we, Coach Brown has just been drilling in our brains that we got to be a player-led team, and he's exactly right. The coaches can only do so much during the week, during summer, off season, and it really just comes down to there's 11 guys on the field because the coaches aren't. So when it comes to those 11 guys on the field, that's where the player-led team comes in, and the coaches again can only do so much, and they can't help you out on the field. Only those 11 guys can. So you really got to, during the offseason, what we did is we have team competition and just pushing our guys to go harder, faster, stronger, right? So I think having that implemented with player-led team is going to be great for maybe like those close games that we've had.
How much more vocal is Drake now?
I think he's always been vocal.
Is it a different kind? Because he's so much more self-assured. He's been through the season and he's kind of been through everything.
Yeah, I think obviously having a season under his belt has helped him a lot, and he can speak from confidence, and not like when he was a freshman, but so yeah, I think Drake is a great vocal leader. He's always lifting the guys up, always pushing us to go harder. So
Cool. Thank you.
good. How about yourself?
Trey Scott, Tory Illustrated. Can you tell me about the chemistry in the tight end room? You got three different guys. All three have their own assets and skills. How do you get along with those guys? How do you build off of them?
I think we're definitely probably the most unique group out of the whole team. The DBs have good connection as well, but I don't know. It's just different. When I'm in the room with those guys, I trust them with everything I say. We're always cracking jokes and having fun. Coach Kitchens, he brings that to the group as well. He's always having fun with us and getting ready to teach when he needs to. But he lets us have our fun, and I think being out on the field, you can't play uptight. You got to be loose, and I think all three of us definitely make each other more comfortable when we're out on the field, and getting in the playbook and watching film.
Do you pick off each other? Nesbitt's more of a receiver. Morales is all around. You're all around. Do you pick off each other on blocking or plays, or any more insight on that part?
Yeah, Bryson's always helped me with routes and stuff. Same with Kamari, and we're always just picking each other up. If someone has a bad block or bad footwork, technique, Coach Kitchens, or I guess with Willie in the past, he wouldn't be the first one to say it. It'd be one of us. So I think coming from the players and your teammates yourself and hearing that rather than coach, I think that can be a little bit better. But we're always just picking up after each other.
This is going to be an obvious question, I would think so, but how much do you look forward going to the next level, to the NFL? How much effort do you put in see where I'm at, engaged compared to the NFL players?
Yeah, my dreams and hopes and aspirations would, go to the NFL, but right now I'm just focusing on, playing this season, being good for the tight end group, and winning games for our team. So I'm just really focused on that. But I think it would be a good question to ask towards the end of the year.
No problem.
Hey John, I just got a couple questions. I'm working on a story. There's been a lot of coaches and league leaders who have some stuff to say about NIL changes. I'm curious to hear what players have to say about this. If you could make any changes to the NIL, what would they be?
If we could go back in time, I think maybe they could have set up, maybe rules and regulations that come with it. None come to mind right now, but when you throw in NIL and money for kids, that can just lead to them going there just for money and not for their future. They could just go there because they see a big chunk of change rather than developing themselves as a football player, right? So that's why the transfer portal also comes in. Because, kids go there for a year and they're like, well, I got paid, but I'm not really happy here. And if you're not happy there, then you need to do something about it. But I think it's a good and bad thing. But I think they probably should have maybe just looked at it a little bit more instead of just kind of throwing it out there.
Commissioner Phillips talked about this on Tuesday. He kind of said, there needs to be a little bit more legislation that kind of protects you guys in the sense where if some guys, they get mixed up with illegitimate representation, like bad agents. Some guys get made promises, hey, you're going to get this if you transfer here, and then they end up there, and then that bag isn't there waiting for them.
Yeah.
And have you heard stories of that happening? Probably, I'm assuming you're not going to say it happens in North Carolina, but do you know people where that's happened at other schools?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just that's the game. It's a business. I think you all can agree on that coaches are here to provide for the family and put a roof and clothes on their kids and wives' back. But that's the truth of it. It's just the game, and the game isn't always fair to you. So
how do you think that we can make the game a little bit more fair to you guys? Because it seems like all these rules that are being put into place now, they're all about winning football games, not really worried about if it's going to legitimately help you guys or not. How do you think? Should there be like a requirement for NIL agents? Should they have to have a certain certification or something?
I'm not too sure on that. Again, I'm not like
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm just trying to pick your mind. I've never played Division I college football, believe it or not.
No, but I'm not huge into transfer portal, NIL. It can just carry a lot with you. So I can't really speak too much about it just because I don't know a whole lot about it. But I think it could be done a different way.
Is it intimidating?
It can be. Yeah. Just college football can be intimidating.
Yeah.
But, that's where you got to have a strong mindset and have faith about it.
Is it overwhelming at times? That you feel like it kind of, well, obviously it makes a lot of people's lives better. It also can add an element of stress that am I making the right decision?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It comes with anything like with your job. It can be overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons with it. I was talking earlier saying you got to sacrifice a lot of things, and that can be social links or having to stay up later because you had to have practice instead of being able to do your homework. So I think it just comes with the sacrifice of the game and having pros and cons. So it can be overwhelming for sure, but just as much as y'all's job.
Thank you.
This is a little different question. From the offensive side, from the defense side, last year they had a player-led meeting during midseason, and it seemed like the cohesives got better. It seemed like they came together. Have you seen that in the offseason from where you're standing at? Have you seen the guys more camaraderie? Anything you can speak on with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see leaders and older guys on the defensive ball, on the offensive ball as well too. They'll take in the younger guys who come in, and they'll show them film. They'll go out on the field and do some extra work after after a run that we've got or something like that. But I think a lot of guys are stepping up and really helping the younger kids, which is obviously going to help us.
Thanks a lot, John.
Yes.